dry, arid stone. Heat shimmering off a hard dirt path. Sun-baked badlands the color of wheat and rust as far as the eye can see. And at its center lies the jewel of civilization, the epicenter of beauty, power, secrets, and achievement. Tekharat. The sky brightens as Kiala'i, the ever-watching eye, the giver of light and warmth and life, opens to a new day. It is said that Kiala'i watches Tekharat more than anywhere else in this world because it is captivated by its beauty, that it fixes its gaze so pointedly all year long, a great summer storm stirred into being, and it brought warm winds and gentle cooling rain to the jeweled people who lived there. The rest of humanity charted a great nomadic course across this land, to brave the fickle spring and autumn storms, to escape the terrible winter storm, and to chase the summer storm in perpetuity. At the center of the city lies a great black obelisk, a holy stone that is said to be the last remnant of when the gods walked the land. They called it Tekenu, and their reverence became their church. They believe the precious crystals that adorn their bodies the touch of the divine, and that the gift of magic is Tekenu's will given form. In the highest reaches of this jeweled city lies the Prismarium, 5 ancient houses, whose mansions perch atop the city's reaches, and whose bloodlines run as deep as stone. In a marriage of economic, social, and religious power, they have ruled Tekharat with an iron grip for centuries. And it is in one of these very houses where our story begins. June, would you please describe your mansion that you have spent all the years of your teenage life in? What are your... I would like you to answer, what is the most impressive part of the mansion? What is the place that your parents, the heads of your house, show people if they really want to wow them? And then what is your favorite place?
So the most impressive place in the mansion is definitely the dining hall. It's entirely made of crystal. You walk in and every column is multifaceted. You can see raw, genuine crystal, like drawn directly from the earth, not perfected, not scientifically created in a lab. They shine they have all of these small lights hung up on the ceiling in such a way that they reflect on all of these little facets, which throws this gorgeous has this prismatic effect, right, of rainbow rays throughout the hall. They have this gorgeous giant table to accommodate up to probably about 20 guests at this dining table, maybe more. This is where they have their grand receptions. This is where Sapphirah's mother is often found. This is where she's at her most comfortable, leading grand balls. But Sapphirah's favorite place is her study. Sapphirah, in this moment in time, identifies as a young girl. She is a teenager. She's 17 years old. She's very, very scientifically minded. And she has this little study. It's very, very simple. It's just painted blue. Has beautiful crystal desk. She has this huge library in here. And this is where she does most of her research. But right now she's lacking some of the tools that she needs because she's taken an interest in some anomalies that she's found in the gems underneath this city, where her parents have been developing land for low-income people.
Amazing. Sapphirah, you know that your, I guess, role as the eldest of 3 children, you are meant to be the heir to your house.
Yes.
Your mother, though she herself does not hold the official title of head of house, the head of house being your father, Alexander.
Yeah.
She's really the one who has the final say in anything. Your father talks a big game. He likes to work the crowd. You recall many years of your life entertaining guests of the Prismarium, the other oligarchical families that you have grown close to, also lesser houses when need be. He likes to work the room. He loves to show everybody the lavish dining hall. But though he has a lot of bark, when push comes to shove, he turns to your mother, Almondine, for any showing of real power. Your mother, a little bit more of the observant and quiet type, especially when it comes to these political social events, has been putting you through the ringer, truly, in terms of training you up to become the heir. These past 17 years. 17 years of education, tutoring, research, social etiquette, music lessons, and anything she deems important to know as a young heir eventually who will take the place as head of house, she imparts to you. And what field of your studies have you taken to most naturally or most passionately?
Sapphirah's been very, very interested in anything, in actually inventing and in creating. She's taken to building these little gadgets. I haven't described her appearance yet. She has this sort of short,
yes,
copper red hair, sort of shoulder length that she's always got pulled up in a high ponytail. Whenever she's like comfortable, rather, like in her like study, in her element, she's wearing very comfortable clothes, stuff that her mother doesn't approve of. She's covered in grease stains because she's always working with oil. She's working with metals. She's taking lots of interest in crystals and the magic that can be drawn from them and the things that you can create with them and what you can power with them. So, Sapphirah has this freckled, face that is freckled with gemstones of multiple different colors. She has these sapphires, rubies, topaz, all scattered across her face, and she has part of her right hand is completely crystallized. She is really, really devoted to trying to create new things, and that's what's really exciting to her. That's what she's really passionate about. She knows that there's lots of things that she has to do because of being the heir, and lots of other things that she needs to learn. She enjoys the music and the creative stuff as well, but a lot of the political stuff is a little bit boring to her. She doesn't really get the point. She is not as invested in a lot of the things that her mother would rather her be invested in.
Incredible. Your mother is somewhere in the house currently. You find yourself in your study, in your workshop, working away at your latest invention, and you know without a doubt, this is going to be the one. This is going to be the one that works. You've drawn up the schematics, you've tested the prototypes, you've checked all of the boxes, covered all your bases. There's no way that this time it won't work. You hear a knock at the door.
What? I'm busy.
Miss Sapphirah, your mother's calling.
Oh my god.
It's quite an urgent matter.
That can't possibly be true.
Yes, well, she requested specifically that I come get you early in order to have you wash up before the rest of today's proceedings.
Fine.
Would you mind opening the door? It's hard for me to have a conversation without you.
Sapphira walks as slowly as she can towards the door and opens it as quickly as she can when she's there.
You swing the door open, and standing in front of you is a shorter, old gentleman with kind of a kindly face, not a lot of hair on top, but around the sides, a bushy mustache, and a very fine uniform. There is a crystal, almost like teardrop shapes running down his right eye into his suit, down his neck, and a ring of crystal around his right eye in an approximation of like a monocle. You know this man to be Hodge. This is one of the head stewards here at the House Socolla, and in your estimation, he's your favorite. He's the one who puts up most with what you want and your shenanigans. The best with the kids out of anyone. Hello. Apologies to disturb you, but as you know, it's a big day today. This is the arrival of the Great Parade. The Council of Captains are due here probably close to 9 o'clock p.m. Your mother has requested specifically that to give you a couple more hours in terms to get ready.
It's 8 in the morning. She thinks it's going to take me 13 hours to get ready?
Yes, well, she's a pragmatic woman, if nothing else. She has at least instructed me to oversee you. First get washed up. No need to
can I just
try
finish
on dresses
this?
or anything. You kind of see a softening of defeat in Hodge's eyes as he goes, "Yes, very well. I shall return within the is an hour okay? Do you need more than that? I don't know what you're really working on. Whatever it is, it smells quite interesting."
Oh, that's not on purpose.
All right. Well, I will return within the hour. You have a couple final lessons to brush up on, and
She still wants me to go to class?
there's plenty to do, and tonight will be a big night in terms of having practical application of your lessons. These are some of the most important dignitaries in the wider world. They are great travelers. They have seen many sights that not many in Tekharat have. And it is a traditional ceremony, as a traditional arrival once every 5 years. So we are quite blessed to have them arrive, and even more so to be the ones hosting them. Now, I'm sure your mother will have plenty for you to do. It's just another one of these events. You've had many of these. I'm sure you'll be fine.
Yeah, well...
And once all of this is done, you can go back to working on whatever it is your work. I think I smell fire. I think that's smoke.
Oh, well, that is on purpose.
Very well. I will be back shortly. He kind of bows and excuses himself.
Beautiful, beautiful. I lock the door behind me. And I take another, 3 hours.
Amazing. You finish up your project in there.
Does it work?
What?
Does
it work?
Yeah. I think what it is it's a tiny little robot that does explode. Not like a big explosion. It just sort of breaks, and then I have to put it back together again, and then it can break.
You've made a thing that breaks.
Yeah, but magically.
But on purpose.
Yeah.
Incredible.
There you go. Amazing. So you work on this project for 3 hours. Eventually Hodge comes and gets you. You are 17 years old. You have probably been going to political dinners and events for many, many years. What is kind of the routine? What does that day kind of leading up to the party or the event consist of? What preparations does Sapphirah make? What does things look like as House Socolla kind of transforms into this place of hosting important people?
Well, typically for Sapphirah, it's a lot of studying up on the various nobles that they're about to meet so that she knows their name and a little bit about their family history and such, so that it seems like they're always talking about them in this house, as though, this is a regular occurrence, just to seem very, very connected and knowledgeable. Today, though, Sapphirah's not really planning on going, so Sapphirah's making other plans. This is a festival day. There's a lot going on. It's a huge party in the city. And she and her sisters, Leslie and Alexandria, are, planning to escape for a few hours. So right now, what Sapphirah is doing as she's, pretending to study up is trying to draw up an escape plan.
Awesome. I would love to have that be a role of some kind.
Oh, sure.
How about let's make it an investigation.
Investigation.
Well, actually, why don't you? I'll put it to you. Drawing up these escape plans. Let me know what skill you use and make a case for it.
Okay. I would like to make a case for history. I think history because I'm digging into I'm thinking about the history of our actual mansion, right? I'm thinking about secret escapes. I'm thinking about entry points, ways out, places that Sapphirah's, that her parents wouldn't think about, that kind of thing. Just trying to remember the history of this place that has been in her family for generations, and in what way she could slip away without being caught.
Love it. Give me a history check. And I think Alexandria, because she idolizes you and thinks you can do no wrong, will give you advantage. And Leslie, because she despises you, is going to give you disadvantage. So you're going to roll this straight.
Hilarious. Yes. Okay, so that's a 10.
That's a 10. You mock up a pretty serviceable escape plan. This is gonna work.
Yeah. Sure. Oh, 100%. Zero flaw. Yeah.
Amazing. So you spend your time finishing up your tinkering creation. You mock up this escape plan. You just go through the motions of your party preparation. Amidst this, it really does take an entire day, you see. The servants of House Socolla are just everywhere. They are running around like mice, making sure to prepare food, calling in catering orders from some of the finest restaurants in the city. You see lots of servants in the dining hall and the Great Hall, just polishing every crystal surface, and that takes a while. You see them bringing in, kind of fiddling with enchanted lights, globes within crystals that give off light, making sure those work. They are scrubbing, cleaning every rug, clipping every leaf in the terrace in the gardens, making things absolutely immaculate. And you can tell just by the energy of this party prep that this is something different. Your parents are pulling out all of the stops. You don't even pull these stops out for the rest of the Prismarium of the city.
The hell?
And the energy in the air is exciting. Part of the preparation of House Socolla is security, making sure the perimeter is secure, no ne'er-do-wells get in or out, and we move into the back of house, if you will. In these hallways and rooms, there is no glittering gemstone or crystal-encrusted pillars, no natural light here, only by lamps, by torches. The ceiling is kind of always a little bit lower, and it does not carry the presentory feel to the space. Within this kind of honeycomb of wooden hallways and small antechambers, we see two figures. They look to be of similar appearance. One is a kind of a young adult woman, probably in her mid to late 20s. Beautiful features, kind of this short, cropped, wavy hair. And she is in half-plate armor with a sword and a shield laying off to the side. She is sitting across from a young man. Sarp, could you please describe your character's appearance?
Of course I can. My character's name is Rezier Fellbloom of House Fellbloom, now currently employed by House Socolla. Rezier has short-cropped, brownish hair, a military cut, has hazel brown, very light, honey-colored eyes, a rather plain face. You wouldn't consider him handsome or unpleasant-looking, really. He wouldn't be, he wouldn't attract any particular attention in the crowd. Currently, he's quite lanky, but he's gaining stature. He's becoming taller as the years pass. He's currently 16 years of age, and right now he's wearing a cloth vest and cloth trousers. He hasn't yet earned his armor in his knight training. Right now he has leather boots strapped on as well, and a plain scabbard steel longsword strapped to his back. And if you were to look closely at his torso, you would see that there is a sort of coiling pattern around his midsection, and it appears again on his chest, middle of his chest. And where the cloth vest is partly unbuttoned at the top, you can see a section of the jutting crystals of violet tinged orange.
Amazing. You are sitting across from your sister, Verna, and you two are currently housing some breakfast. It is a plain, protein-heavy slop. It's kind of the standard fare of what is served for breakfast for the guards of House Socolla. But for you guys, this is dinner, because you two have come off of a long 12-hour graveyard shift guarding the perimeter of the grounds. It's called perimeter duty, but you mostly kind of stand right outside where the back road, the road kind of meets the back of the house, and the back of the house is where the cistern is. That's where all the chamber pots get dumped. It's a shitty station, and both of you know it. But you guys it's 8 something in the morning. You guys are currently just housing breakfast because you guys are hungry. After a couple minutes of silence, your sister sits back. I still think you should use a spear, not a sword.
Rezier peeks up from his bowl that he was currently shoveling into his face with a already disheartened look, and peeks over with one eye raised, and just turns back to his bowl, shaking his head, shovels one more spoon, throws the bowl onto the table, and leans back himself and says, "I like getting up real close. You know this, Verna."
Yeah, but half of the sword is a chopping weapon, and in order to chop shit, especially through armor bone, crystal, what have you. You need a little bit more meat on your bones.
He gets an exasperated look on his face, gestures towards the bowl that he just threw away, and says, "I'm trying, but it's not working. I'm sorry, alright, if I can't make you happy right now, but I'm trying my best."
Your stance, even. I mean, we've drilled it countless hours. Your stance it's too wide. It looks like you're trying to hold a 20-foot pole. Plus, there's nothing wrong with the spear. You get to stand away from whoever you're trying to poke. You don't get leaked on.
Leaked on? Really? Look, if I wasn't so
Anyways.
tired, we could spar right here, right now.
The last thing I want to do right now is spar. I am looking forward to a nice, long nap. Maybe I could sneak... I think I ran out of the bottle I was using. Maybe I can talk to one of the servants and I can bribe them for another wine. But she kind of like looks around. You can hear the footfalls of servants kind of running to and fro is quite audible. It seems like something is going on here, and I don't know. Part of me doesn't want to ask, but...
Look.
I mean...
What I care about right now is not to get that shit duty at the cistern again, ever again. Why did it keep us doing the same thing over and over again?
She kind of leans forward. Her face gets serious. Because those were our orders. And we follow our orders.
Rezier sits up straight. Right.
I don't like it any more than you do. But Commander Isan has decided that that's where we're used best. And I'm not going to argue, even if he is a shit-eating, and at this point you hear heavy kind of metallic footfalls come down the stairs. She cuts off really quick and sits up straight. And you see a man come down in his mid-30s, this like long, nasty, patchy-looking mustache and shoulder-length hair that looked like he just grabbed a bunch of grease and ran his fingers through it. You can see a little bit of that grease on his mustache and eyebrows as well. Is maybe a 5'8", 5'9" man in plate armor. And you see the sash of the commander about his body. This is Commander Isan Garnis. He is your commanding officer and the head of the entire House Socolla guard.
Rezier says...
Oh, my Fellblooms.
Rezier says, while he's approaching us, under his breath, to his sister, "Still looks like a pig fucker, too."
She shoots you just this death glare. Clanks down. My Fellblooms. I trust that last night went off without a hitch.
It was quite sound, sir. Yes. Rezier also stands up to greet him.
Verna gives him a very cordial bow and says, "Nothing of note to report, sir. All looked well." He says, "All looked well? Good, good. Well, everything definitely looked well when a couple of the other officers and I were out partying last night. Got in a little bit on the later end, but it was a fun night. Sorry you couldn't join us, but hey, duty, honor, I know that's what you Fellblooms kill for, right? Look, I would hate to be the last person to tell you this, but the Soccollas are putting on quite a big showing tonight. Not sure if you guys heard, but the Great Parade is coming into town. Woo! So it's going to be an all hands on deck situation. There will be no rest for you guys coming off of a long graveyard shift. It will be a full day type of thing. And then Verna speaks up and says, "Where do you need us, Commander?" Well, I think I'm going to take the majority of the guard into the Great Hall We got to keep the noble family safe, but also look after well, I know we're supposed to call them guests, but let's be real, they're outsiders. They don't belong here. So we'll be officially keeping the guests safe, really making sure that nothing gets too out of hand. Can I count on you to watch the outside? I'm sure there's going to be plenty going on. And also, I heard the servants talking. They're going to clean up those bathrooms nice and going to really get into it. So, yeah, big day, big night. Oh, I guess you guys also had one last night. Look, after this, I'll let you guys take some hours off. All right, sound good? And then Verna just bows. As you wish, Commander.
I maintain my gaze 1 second longer, and then I also follow my sister's approach and bow as well.
He gives you to a look, bowing. All right, pleasure talking with you, Fellblooms. Call time is going to be in, let's see, what time is it? It's 8 o'clock right now. Oh, God, last night was long. Be dressed and ready in an hour. And then he leaves. He disappears up the stairs. Your sister kind of sits down, rubs her eyes into her hands. It's not what I needed.
So, he puts us out again while they're in the Great Hall? Huh? While he's protecting the ones who need protecting? And what do we do? Huh? Sister? What is our purpose?
Jobs, Rezier.
Come on.
We do our jobs. She kind of massages the back of her neck. Listen, I'm sure you've heard the other guards talking. They talk behind our backs about what happened with Mom and with Dad. At this, I think I'll just make a note that your father, your father, Rezier Fellbloom, he was one of the highest commanding officers of the Soccollas, along with your mother. Your mother was killed in the line of duty many years ago, only like when you were a kid, really. And this basically without really knowing your father. Your father was never like an emotionally vulnerable person, and you were like in the throes of training. It caused him to break his oath, and he accepted banishment. He accepted the dishonor, and he pretty much disappeared. Hadn't seen him in a long, long time. Verna goes, the last thing we need is to act out. We're given a shitty job, yes, but with years of duty, with years of showing our honor, with years of service, I believe that things will come around, and we will be able to see greatness once more.
But, Verna, I drop down to a knee and cup my two hands gently onto her thigh. Verna, what if we were to just leave, find our oath elsewhere? Would that not be possible?
She sighs. Our parents worked too hard to get us to where we are now. This is our duty. This is the honor which we must adhere by. This is how we win the honor of the Fellblooms back. Through watching people dump shit out of a mansion, through deferring and accepting any responsibility that man throws our way. And he was like, you could see the commander is only like a couple years older than your sister, and you've never once seen him fight, so you don't really know how good of a guard he is. She goes, this is the way we win it back. There is a wrong way and there is a right way.
Okay.
Be patient.
Look.
Good things will come.
Look.
She puts a hand on your shoulder.
If you want me to do this, I will. Really, you're the only person I will ever listen to. If you tell me to obey these orders, I will. Time in, time again, I will.
Now that is not what I want to hear. I'm the only one which you'll listen to?
Look.
What happens when I'm stationed away and you're not my squire anymore?
Look, maybe time will make this easier for me. I just have a hard time adjusting is all. Still.
She nods. You know what might make things easier?
What?
In terms of adjustment to your new situation?
What?
Pick up a spear. And she kicks you in the chest and you fall down.
Alright.
Come on. I'm gonna grab a bath. And then we gotta suit up.
I'll be right behind you.
She stands up. And we leave from that place. House Socolla gets ready to receive these guests. It is party prep time. What does the Socolla Guard do? And where in this very short time, this short free time that you have, where does Rezier go? What does he do?
He would certainly, after that graveyard shift, he would follow in his sister's footsteps, literally. He would also take a bath, clean up, if he has time, take a power nap in his quarters. He'll again grab a quick meal, put some meat on these bones, as his sister keeps saying, and as he always does when he has the time, even if it is crunch time, he makes it a point to walk to the highest point that he has allowance to go to in the Soccolla mansion, and to gaze out in the direction where House Fellbloom once lay, and reminisce for as long as he can before he again meets up with his sister, Verna.
Incredible. We are going to leave House Socolla to their preparation for the party for the moment, and we are going to move outside of the city to a procession of people, of creatures, of some of the most fantastical things in the world of Utah, as they see the gleaming obelisk city of Tekharat on the horizon. So, we leave behind the city of Tekharat, zoom out. The world of Utah is not one that is governed by the turning of the planet and the planet turning around a sun to then influence seasons and days and nights. The days and nights are determined by the waking and the sleeping of Kiala'i, the sun eye. And wherever its gaze falls upon, there is daylight there. The turning of the seasons is determined by storms, these massive hurricane forces that sweep across the planet and have done for eons. The summer storm and subsequent spring storms are the ones that rotate mostly around. They have the most kind of intersection with Tekharat. That's not to say that the winter storm and all seasons are experienced in this singularly sedentary city. But for the vast majority of civilization, humanity, they have taken to the road as their way of life, part living off the land, part taking their innovations and infrastructure and industry mobile without setting down roots in one place. The latest incarnate, this is a tradition that has been going on for thousands of years. The current iteration in this present point in time is called the Great Parade. The Great Parade is a caravan of people, of culture, of different cultures, of hunters, scouts, researchers, surveyors, parents, children, cultures, at the forefront of which is the Solarium, a temple, moving temple designed to honor and revere Kiala'i and its beneficent rays and gaze. The Great Parade consists of 4 different 3 different marches. At the front is the Dawnmarch. The Dawnmarch is a caravan of heralds. It represents beginnings, it represents ceremony, generating excitement. This is the party, this is the caravan that arrives first in any settlement upon the Great Parade's path. They have heralds, they have bards to exchange stories, to perform ceremonies, to thank their gracious hosts, to provide presents. This is also the location of the Library of the Land and Stars, the academic and research hub of the Great Parade. These are the scholars that have taken their studies and observations that they have found abroad in the wider world to exchange with whichever civilization's leaders or whatever settlement's own academic space. Charting the course ahead of the Dawnmarch is a contingent of rangers that scouts the place to clear safe passage, and what entertainers and merchants are in the Dawnmarch are more modest and mainly serve just to kind of butter up their audience and butter up their hosts. Again, the Dawnmarch it's about new beginnings. It is about ceremony, it's about welcoming and generating the excitement and the joy that is associated with the spectacle of the Great Parade. So that's the Dawnmarch. The second caravan is the Day March. This represents commerce, an honest work, a hard day's work, trade, exchange. These are the ones that bring goods from far-off places to trade with the settlements nearby. They are the principal economic generator for the Great Parade. The wagons and carts here are filled with wares to be sold for money or traded for necessary goods from the settlement that the Great Parade can't come by on their own. And the third march is the Dusk March. This represents revelry, excitement, or entertainment, nighttime festivities. They are the entertainment capital of the Great Parade. They bring joy, exuberance, debauchery, gluttony. There's music players, there are theater halls. Such are the dulcet tones of the storytellers and bards of the Dusk March and the Twilight Circus. There are also many food stalls, drinking halls, tents of chants, and pillow houses, to say any desire imaginable. And bringing up the rear of the Great Parade is the Night March. Now, the Night March is a little bit different in that there are no denizens in this caravan, none living, per se. The Night March bringing up the rear is a procession of souls who are in passage to the afterlife. The people of the Great Parade believe that those who lose their lives in service of the parade can elect to continue walking with the caravan, and only depart into the afterlife when they wish to. However, those living, if they fall too far behind in the parade or somehow get in the way of the souls of the Night March, have a very real chance to lose their souls and be cursed to march with them. This, of course, can only be averted if one of your ancestors are in the Night March and can claim you as theirs. In that way, you will be saved, you'll be returned to safely to wherever it is you came from. Most of the settlements view this part of the Great Parade. It is creepy. It is a little bit haunting for sure, but it is something to be respected with kind of solemnity, observed with grace, as you would any of the other marches of the Great Parade. You can definitely see this procession coming from a very far distance. The dust that it kicks up, the moving shadows upon the road you could see kind of through the heat haze, but there is no landmark more noticeable of the Great Parade than the 4 elder beasts which march along and with the Great Parade and have been watching over them for generations. In the Dawn March, towering hundreds of feet above the heads of the tallest carts is the Stag of Exalting Earth. Is a massive elk with golden eyes, gold-flecked fur, and antlers that capture and hold starlight. it wields the primordial power of earth and can summon earthquakes by stamping its hooves, but it doesn't, of course. It acts as a proud beacon of the Great Parade and assists the Dawnmarch's captain with avoiding any dangerous environments. So when you see a moving constellation coming towards you, you know that the Great Parade is nearby. Overseeing and caring for the Dawnmarch is the Crane of Settled Sky, which is a massive stork with feathers that reflect the color of the sky above, whether it's white clouds, gray overcast, or clear blue, or indigo, or orange. That color is reflected in its long feathers. It has the primordial power of air, and though it rarely flies, it spreads its not 2, but 4 wings out onto kind of long wooden posts and banisters to create the cover that the merchants of the Grand Bazaar use. Within the Dusk March is the Twilight Circus. The Grand Bazaar is kind of the main trade and mercantile hub of the Great Parade. The Dusk March is looked after by the Tortoise of Slumbering Flame. It is a massive kind of volcanic tortoise. It's kind of a black skin. Its shell is kind of like this craggy, igneous surface that sprouts up into what looks to be a volcanic spout that kind of constantly plumes smoke. And in and along its black body are kind of like rivulets of glowing orange and red that kind of reflect the smoldering flame within. It is a walking geothermal engine, which powers the Great Parade's kind of mobile industrial machines, as well as provides a mood lighting for the Twilight Circus and the rest of the Dusk March, red light district, if you will. And last but not least, flying high overhead of the Night March is the Phantom of Unknowable Depths. It is a massive translucent jellyfish that floats soundlessly through the air, and it creates an aurora borealis-like kind of light show through its body and through its tentacles, reflecting and refracting the light. It contains the power of water, and mostly it's just creepy, and it kind of just provides some mood lighting. But yes, that in summation is the spectacle that is the Great Parade. So I will put to you, Katrina, between the Dawn March, the Day March, and the Dusk March, where do you think Mallow lands? And what march does your mother, Iris, which march is she the captain of?
I think it's got to be the Dawn March.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's very much runs halfway between spiritual leader and academic.
Absolutely. Okay, good. That's kind of where I was leaning towards too.
Yeah, I think that makes the most sense.
So, you and your mother are riding upon beasts of burden within cart or carriage, wherever you may be. Again, it is a massive caravan of people, some walking, but mostly on some form of transportation, whether it's wagon or cart or chariot. Just the latent natural energies emanating from the elder beasts kind of inherently draw other life, other animals, other plants to kind of walk with you in this massive parade of much of the life of this world. Your mother, Iris, as the captain of the Dawn March, is intrinsically linked to the Stag of Exalting Earth, kind of like a familiar or a summoned creature, if you will. She oftentimes kind of taps into the stag's sight in order to kind of survey from a very, very high vantage point where they're going. She serves as the prime navigator of the parade, even though the parade is a predetermined path that has been walked for thousands of years. So at the moment, I think she is probably riding with the captains or maybe with her advisors in a small kind of detachment. You currently are in your own private quarters. Where would we find you, and what does your private space, your space that's just for you, look like? And what do you look like?
Good question. I can start with what Mallow looks like. I do know that, and then my brain can work on the other bit. Mallow is sort of on the shorter side, dark-skinned, dark eyes, tends to sort of hide her face in her hair, is probably at this moment wearing her crystal disguise, which is she has sort of ear cuffs that are like a clear crystal with sort of amber running through it, that make it look like she has crystal ears, even when she does not. I think she and her mother, like, share a communal space in a wagon, or sort of, like, moving house space, but I think she has, like, an upper, like, bunk that she uses as her own space. It's, like, very low roof, sort of. The thing I'm thinking of is the, like, bunk bed space in my childhood RV.
Awesome.
Which is, like, super low ceiling, kind of curved, but, like, around the bed just has little cupboards full of boxes of things. She has just a collection of trinkets that are sorted between, like, things to keep, things to sell, things to pawn off to other people for things to sell. Mallow generally believes that, though, you know, as the captain, like, the parade looks after her and her mom, she still feels like she needs to be a little bit more practical and, you know, look out for their assets.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just in case.
Amazing. I think at some point in your childhood, your mother druid crafted, kind of in the grain of the wood, little blooms, little blossoms, kind of right above your head, that when night falls kind of glows and resembles like a starry night sky. Do you think Mallow would have kept those up, or would have she changed them in any way?
I think probably they don't glow anymore. I think that started to be annoying at a certain point rather than comforting. So I think that it is just the blossoms and then a collection of, like, Mallow's carvings of weird creatures and things that she saw and wants to remember. So it's sort of a mess of imagery at this point. It's got a lot of, like, weird storks and plants and the occasional, like, constellation or waterfall or something that she wanted to preserve.
Incredible. So you find yourself kind of in your family carriage, the bumps of the road acting as almost just a natural rocking, something that you've come to grow up with, and it's been a source of comfort where it might not be for others not used to traveling, but you are a person of the road. The cart rides mostly with its kind of sliding windows opened, and through it a small mockingjay flies in and kind of lands on the sill, kind of hops around, looks at you, does that weird, like, side bird eye thing to get a look at you.
Go to, like, my mom's stash of seeds that is just, like, sort of under the windowsill in a spot where it is secured enough that a bird is not going to gorge itself on it, but is, like, conveniently placed for this exact situation.
You
just,
go, like,
and
grab it.
Feed it something.
You go and feed it, kind of takes a seed, eats it, and then hops down into the cart itself, and as it hops down, the wild shape ends, and your mother is standing there, chewing. You're right, darling, I was craving sunflower seeds. Good pick. Your mother is kind of shares very similar features to you. Lots of hair, but is kind of pulled back with clips and with ties into more of a face framing shape. Beautiful dark skin. She has a crystallid that kind of runs up her, like along her throat, and kind of outlines her jaw. And she is dressed in kind of like beautiful but simple kind of cotton robes. Simple, like a thick leather belt around it, and you can see kind of within the folds of the fabric there are little ties of roots, of plant leaves, of stems, of little blossoms, in just kind of like a druidic aesthetic to it. She kind of sits down on the bed and goes, "So we're about 12 hours out of the city. I know last time we visited, you were quite young. Oh, what was it? You might have turned... How old are you now?"
Mom. 16.
16? Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yes. You were 11.
I remember it, mostly.
Yes. It's that city changes day to day. It feels like. I talked with the rest of the captains, and we are in agreement that we will be stopping for a total of 12 days this time.
Okay.
We are pretty... our stores, I heard, have pretty depleted since our last stop. So we will be needing to do plenty of business. I'm sure Prosper and his son, Valerian, they're going to be handling much of the commerce in that aspect. They're managing the Twilight Circus, as you know. I see she kind of like looks around the space in the cart. I see you look like you're gonna do some haggling yourself, young lady.
That was the plan.
Oh, that's the Are you looking to sell that book? And she kind of points over. It's this old kind of storybook that you've had since you were a child. It's just been gathering dust.
No, it's just
she even
out
kind of crafted
way.
a little bookmark. Oh, all right. You're not thinking of selling that one, right? It's, I'm sorry. It's fine.
Do people in the city buy books? Because I was led to believe that they do not.
Well, people in that city buy pretty much everything. They've got this presupposition that because we travel so much and have seen more of the world or whatever, our kind of mundane items are more valuable. They do a bit of othering that is not entirely harmful, but more of they think all of our things are wondrous and fantastical, and you could sell a toothbrush for probably 2 gold pieces if you wished.
I will make a note of that. That seems like a good way to up some prices.
Yes. Well, I mean, and they are, looked, from what I understand, and from speaking with the what do they call the Prismarium? That's right. That's what they style themselves. The kind of leaders of the city. It's like a couple long ancient families. They believe that.
I remember the rich assholes, Mom.
That part's
pretty memorable. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you do good.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wanted to ask you again. I would never make you do anything that you don't wish. I was wondering if you would like to accompany me and the rest of the captains and our heralds to there is a reception hall. There is a reception banquet. One of the families are kind enough to host the welcoming ceremony, and I wanted to ask if you would be there. I heard through communications that there are some other of their young noble children which might be interesting for you to interact with. God, they're not even children anymore. They're probably your age, actually.
I think I maybe got my fill of that the last time.
Yeah?
Yes. I feel like you've conveniently forgotten the part where I almost punched someone.
Well, I wouldn't say you almost punched... Okay, look, he had it coming. All right, Let's not get anything twisted.
No, we agree there.
Yes, he tried to pawn you off some broken timepiece, and you did the right thing. You saw I taught you well. I'm quite proud of that. But you're basically grown now. I feel it is about time that you, and again, I don't want to make you do anything you don't wish to.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a certain amount of responsibility that comes with being a captain, that comes with being a leader of people. People look to you and they rely on you to do the tasks that they themselves or others wouldn't. And most times that means talking to other rich, snooty people, because those rich, snooty people tend to be the ones that run things as well. Leaders speak so their people don't have to.
Mm-hmm. And I understand that, but also Valerian and our friends had some plans to take advantage of the first night of the festival and do
and
some...
what might those be?
Oh, the usual sort of get a lay of the land, see some people.
Make a deception check.
I believe I'm decent at that. Let's see. Oh, that's an 11.
All right.
I feel like she knows what's up.
Yeah, your mother is a druid, and you understand that she is quite perceptive.
It's also not the first time I've done this.
Yes. And she you mentioned that, you can see kind of just a very gentle shade to disappointment kind of crosses her face and goes, yes. Well, the revelries of youth, I imagine. Mm-hmm. Look, you aren't 11 anymore, Mallow. You won't be able to be forgiven so easily just for being a kid fooling around. There is, and this is a blunt way to put it, but I think it is time you start considering growing up and understanding what it means to be an adult and to take responsibilities and do things that you don't necessarily wish to.
I'm not gonna get arrested.
Well, I don't know what you have in store, and the laws of the city are topsy-turvy, and I don't know if I can be the one to dig you out of some prison. If you offend if you were to punch a young noble kid in the face.
The last time we went out and she goes and grabs all of this from the last town. So if I can get around you, I think I can probably get around some soft city guards.
She takes a moment to consider, and then ultimately nods. Very well. I take your meaning.
Like you said, they have it coming.
Yes, we also want to be kind to our gracious hosts. After all, they are the ones hosting us.
Because they want things.
Right. Well, we all want things. This is what this exchange, this arrangement is.
I just don't remember
even
being
the religious, the Solarium
gracious.
wants to go talk to the church.
You say the word gracious, and I feel like you need to remind me what it means. Because I feel like what I understand as gracious is not what I recall.
She rolls her eyes. Ha ha. Look, I don't want to have to dig you out of some city prison. I don't want you to get shanked in an alley where I can't find you.
And I won't.
And you're not punching 11-year-olds in the face anymore, as an 11-year-old.
No.
Whether you like it or not, your words and your actions have weight and consequences beyond you.
To have anybody notice me. That would be the entire point. You're a terrible pickpocket if people see you doing it.
You're picking pockets?
I thought that was obvious.
Oh. She kind of rubs her head, rubs her face. Oh my god, Mallow.
You don't take things from shops. That's how you get caught.
She reaches kind of into a pocket of her many-folded dress and retrieves a pipe. Druid crafts some herbs you could see, controls water to dry them out, packs it in, and then controls flame, a little flame on her finger, and just takes a rip.
We have matches.
You have matches. You should sell those matches. That's free money.
I am going to sell things the normal way.
She breathes out kind of a cloud of smoke, and it turns into a bird and kind of flies out the window. All right. Well, you're 16, so you're basically an adult, so you make your own decisions. Can I ask one thing of you? Mm-hmm. Show face at the reception. They're important people. Just I want you to meet. You don't have to stay.
Queen.
You can sneak out. I can give you some pass without trace if you wish, and you go make your mischief. I know you will be safe.
If I just leave, because no one cares that I'm there.
Sure. I care if you're there.
Fine.
Show face, and then go do what you want to do. Okay. No prisons, no shanking, no punching. Unless they deserve it. Okay.
Well, you say those things, and I feel like your expectations and your words do not always match, Mum.
I don't know what you're talking about. She turns into a bird and flies away. Yeah, so you've got about half a day before you arrive into Tekharat, into the city. Is there any preparations that Mallow is doing? Is there any other marches that you wish to transition to?
I'm probably going to go see Valerian and see if he also has to show face, which he probably does.
Sure. So Valerian, you would know, is with his father, Prosper Morel, is the captain of the Dawnmarch. So basically kind of what it means to transport yourself from march to march is the further up you are, you kind of just have to wait. And then eventually, or you can walk backwards, and eventually you will get to where you need to go. The whole Great Parade travels at a good, 5 miles an hour, so it's not crazy. In order to get further up into the parade, you just have to kind of encourage your mount or whatever you're riding to put on a little more juice and sprint and get up to where you need to be. So yeah, easy enough to grab a mount and kind of wait or kind of head on back, run counter, and find the Dawnmarch. On your way, you pass the Dawnmarch, and you can see tons. These are like huge caravans, enormous wagons that have a bunch of just different wares, weapons, technology, magic items, poultices, different kind of like natural medicines, apothecary shit, and whatnot. Where the bulk of kind of the commerce is going to be, you pass by, you see the crane of settled sky as it kind of just lumbers on. Big fucking 4-winged bird. It is a kind of slightly overcast sky right now, so all along its feathers are just kind of a white and rippling gray. And you kind of head on back to where you see the giant plume column of smoke, like a chimney stalk on a train. And you know that's the kind of indicator of where the Dawnmarch is. And you find the captains always kind of travel closest to the elder beasts, and you can find Valerian pretty easily. He is in his family's carriage. You don't see his father isn't anywhere. Actually, you see his father kind of like riding up on the tortoise itself. Seems to be kind of like telepathically talking to it. Valerian is sitting cross-legged on the ground, working on some what looks to be like putting cards down onto the ground, either like maybe tarot card reading. On the floor of the caravan.
That's a great way
he's
to
just chucking cards out the window. Yeah. But yeah, he's cross-legged, kind of on the floor. Looks to be just manipulating cards.
Yeah, Mallow just sort of pulls up alongside, pats the mount, hang out, don't go anywhere, keep up with this, and just sort of jumps over to where Valerian is.
You kind of catch onto the handrail easily enough. The mount understands, kind of just locks into the 5 mile an hour trot, and Valerian's there, kind of sitting. Oh hey.
Hey, do you have to go to a snobby party? Because I apparently have to go to a snobby party.
Can't wait. Looking forward to it. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else in the world.
Great. Mom did say that we can show up, have people see us, and then leave immediately.
Well,
I don't know
that's
if
because
that's
she's your
your
mom.
instructions.
No. My dad's going to be there to get as many of those highfalutin people into the circus as possible. He wants to see them drunk, he wants to see them fucked up, and he wants to see them spending money.
And you need to be there to do that because...
Shrugs. That's what he said to do.
Well, I suggest that we sort of wander away from wherever your dad is, get lost in a crowd, and maybe disappear for a couple hours.
He kind of stops dealing out cards, looks at you. Are you saying what I think you're saying?
Pop back in at the end of the party, leave with him, he won't even notice.
He might notice if I'm carrying a pouch full of gold. He can sniff that shit out like a hound.
Then give me, I'll hold on to it for you. Or Avens or Trillium, who don't even have to go.
Oh, Avens and Trillium are going to go. Not to the party, but...
Yes, no, obviously not to the party. That's what I meant. Nobody's gonna stiff you on your share.
We both remember how pretty sorely you lost last time we played this little game. If
you think you're gonna win?
I will bet you that I will win. In fact, I will bet you everything we take that night.
Well, that's kind of how it works anyways.
Yeah.
Not really much of a bet.
Fine. He kind of sits back, collects his cards. Do you have a suggestion then?
I don't know, bet me something interesting.
Thanks for a second.
If I win, you have to go and make nice to somebody who looks horrible.
As you say that, he gets a little twinkle in his eye and smiles. Okay. And what does make nice entail?
You need to have a conversation for 5 minutes in which you smile the entire time.
You see just a twitch at the edge of his smirk. Okay. I see what type of game we're playing.
And what do I have to do? Same? Something else?
No. You have to find the most stuck-up, snootiest, most privileged little shit and kiss them.
Knew you were going to say that.
Do we have a deal?
Only if you don't specify where.
I mean, I was going to say not outside the main district of the city. Oh, you meant... Oh.
I will kiss someone on their hand.
Nah. Lips or face or nothing.
Fine. Face.
And make it good. Like properly, like snog them. Yeah. Like nasty.
Her eyes.
Yeah. Okay, good. Do we have a deal?
I guess I'd better win this bet.
Yeah. And hey, if you need any, inspiration or practice, you can always go back to the pleasure houses. All those workers, they're very experienced. I'm sure they'd be happy to share their expertise with you.
Gross.
Okay. Yeah, I'll hit up the other two, see if they can get out of whatever they're going to do. I'm sure they'll probably find some weird crystal kid to bully out of their money anyways, or try to sell them, I don't know, a toenail.
My mom said that you could sell a toothbrush for 2 gold. She seemed pretty confident about that.
You could sell a toothbrush for 2 gold. I could sell one for 8.
Rude.
Alright.
Well,
I'm going to continue practicing my close-up magic so I can impress whatever noble I'm supposed to make nice with.
Mm-hmm. And or distract a bunch of people.
Yes. All my skills are multifaceted.
Yes.
All right.
You honestly think that the close-up magic will be impressive to crystal people?
I think it's going to blow their fucking minds. Yes.
Okay.
They haven't even seen the fireworks yet, and we got that 3 years ago. They're going to shit themselves.
Do
you think they shit diamonds?
Tricks? No.
Okay. You don't have to say it with that kind of tone of voice.
Think about that for 2 seconds.
I don't want.
How would that make any sense?
Okay.
I think they have digestive systems that function, because otherwise they would be dead.
Look, you spend a lot of time in the library, and it shows.
I spend a lot of time listening to my mother get extremely detailed about the insides of people.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
I
I
now
hope
have
she
to,
teaches you a good lesson in the next 12 hours before we get there. We're 12 hours out, by the way. Because
Yes,
you're
I
going to need
know.
that.
Yes, I got your meaning.
Okay.
Good luck with the magic.
Dismissed! And he kind of waves his hand.
Just like sort of kick him in his leg while he's sitting on the ground.
Amazing. Is there anything else you wish to do? Anyone else you want to see?
I think that Mallow is begrudgingly going to take his advice and go, at the very least, practice being quiet and or just sort her stash.
Excellent. And
Yes.
we zoom out from there. Lots of preparation, kind of plans being put forward, and within 12 hours, there will be a very interesting reception banquet at the House Socolla, and I think that is a good place to end.
You've been listening to Through the Inkwell, featuring Ethan Wescoatt as Game Master, with Katrina Basnett as Mallow, Sarp Demiral as Rezier, and June Rossaert as Sapphirah. This episode was edited by Sarp Demiral and mixed by Katrina Basnett. Original compositions by Ryan Miller. You can support the show by joining our Patreon or by sharing the podcast with people who will enjoy it. For more information, visit meadowlarkpresents.ca/throughtheinkwell or follow us on social media at Through the Inkwell. This podcast was produced on the traditional lands of the Native Hawaiian and Coast Salish peoples, the Powhatan Chiefdom, the Monacan Nation, the Haudenosaunee, the Kanien'kehá:ka, or Mohawk, and the Wendake Neonwesio. We honor these lands and peoples with our ongoing commitment to respectful and responsible storytelling.